Hello and welcome back to the channel How We Move with the Decibel. In today's video I am photographing things and listing them on eBay. The first thing here is the Presidential Physical Fitness Award. So we used to get this in PE. I think my generation might have been at the tail end of this. I am a geriatric millennial / young X. I don't know where I stand on this. I'm an early 80s baby. But I remember doing this in elementary school. I do not remember doing this in high school. I talked to my mom about it and she said they did it every year, all through elementary school, junior high, and high school. Again, I only remember elementary school. But apparently, like, you did like physical fitness exam type thing or test or whatever where she vividly remembers like climbing ropes and stuff. I never had to do that. I don't know if that became like an insurance issue, but we never had to climb the ropes tied to the ceiling. Now we did have to do like the long jumps, the push-ups, the pull-ups, or the flexed arm hang, the running, the mile, sit-ups, push-up, like touching our toes, using that weird box where you could like push it out to see how far you could go past your toes. I remember doing all of that. We never got a certificate. We never got a patch. This certificate has somebody's name on it. The patch is like late 60s, I want to say. This sold almost immediately when I listed it. I want to say it sold within the first 2 days of it being listed. So I don't know if it brought back either some really awesome fun memories or like some very tormented awkward memories and they didn't get the patch in school, so they're going to buy the patch on eBay. I don't understand. I listed it like, oh haha, maybe someone will want this. It literally sold within 48 hours. This goes to the theory that just list it. Sometimes there were no comps for this, by the way. I had the original envelope, I had the original certificate, I had the original patch that was never used, which kind of tells you how much they care about it. There's a number 1 on the patch. I don't know what that means. I did not go into detail when I was really searching it. Again, I listed this. I didn't think it would actually sell because there were no comps for this. There were a couple things when I got on TerraPeak and looked, but they were nothing over like $5.99. So when this sold, and I want to say it sold for $14.99, I was incredibly surprised. I kind of Hail Married that price. There wasn't even a offer, a bid, or like, it was buy now, accept offer. There was no offers, no nothing. The person just bought it now. So again, everyone's like, check the sold comps, look at the sell-through rates, do this, do that. That's great. But I just sold this thing and it had horrible comps, horrible sell-through rates. But it sold. There were even other ones listed and mine sold faster. I don't know if it's because we had almost 1,000 listings at the time when this sold. I don't know if it's because we have over 1,000 positive feedback. I don't know why, but it sold. I will say this all came from a boxed lot from an auction. And this was one of the, if you've watched previous videos, these are one of the boxes where it's an online auction. My husband and I will go through and throw dollars on things, just, you know, whatever. Most of the time we get outbid. We don't go back and put any more on it, just $1. This particular auction, we came back with a lot of dollar boxes. Like a lot, almost filled our minivan full of dollar boxes. Nobody else bid on them. A lot of it was old paper, some old linens, stuff like that. I was more interested in the linens because I do sell vintage sheets and stuff pretty regularly. Old paper, we just got into all the books that we got from the estate sale, which I just sold another one yesterday. So that was nice. One I didn't think would sell, but actually sold. And we kind of went on a Easter egg hunt trying to find it because we did not label where box it was in. And we found it in a numbered box. Usually with books that aren't labeled, they are on a shelf. But no, we found this in a numbered box. And my husband just happened to go, you know what? This box has miscellaneous items in it. Let's look in it. And there it was. It's a crapshoot on calendars, especially from the 90s, if they sell or not. This one I was looking up in particular because I had artwork on it. where, you know, if it was like kittens or something, I would not have looked it up, but this was specific artwork. So I went ahead and looked that up to see if it was worth anything. I don't remember if I listed it or not. There was a lot of art school things. And when I say art school things, I say the things you get in the mail and it's like, you could be an artist like this. It's drawing faces and stuff. I will say though, this lot, and ironically, the exercise machine that we just sold this weekend came from this lot. It was triggering my husband's allergies so bad. I don't know what about this was, because it didn't affect me at all. Now, sometimes things will affect me and I'll sneeze a lot or I'll get like really scratchy throat. And now since I'm on the other side of bacterial pneumonia, I still get kind of agitated, like my lungs will get agitated a little bit and I'll have to puffer or whatever. But this was before the pneumonia. There were even pictures of like drawings and stuff in here, Polaroids of drawings. I don't know what it was. This lot also had a lot of personal items, which I don't like. We do get rid of them all if it is something that could be medically used against them. We will shred things. We've gotten birth certificates, death certificates, stuff like that. I've contacted the auctioneers before saying, hey, we got like essentially a packet of, you know, like I have one, my mom has one, the important papers packet with like birth certificates, death certificates, social security card, like all of that tax information. We found an envelope with all of this in it, and I contacted the auctioneer, actually talked to his wife, and she contacted the family that we bought it from because it was an estate sale auction, and they said to shred it. They didn't ask for it to be dropped off. I don't know if I would trust a stranger that much. I would be like, yeah, can you just drop it off at the office? But I guess I could have made photocopies or whatever. There's the cat. Our cat Dylan, he has to be in on everything. I think he's trying to lick the camera. He's very, very nosy. He is also almost 5. So, and he went to the vet. Kind of funny vet story. He is like the best cat ever. He's super nice. He's like a dog cat. Somebody comes to the house. He runs to the door to greet them. Super chill. The girls essentially torture him. They love on him all the time, want to snuggle with him all the time. They'll lay down on the floor with him. Again, very chill cat. I can walk around carrying him. He's got no problem. He'll like purr and everything. He hates the vet. He turns into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde when he goes to the vet. And he doesn't do it for the vet. So, like, I had an old cat growing up that I had to hold at the vet because he was psychotic to the vet, but not to me. Dylan, our cat, is the other way around. He was purring for the vet. He was super chill. He got 2 shots. It didn't hiss, didn't do anything, didn't melt, like, totally fine. This would be my 4th time taking him to the vet. So I've kind of learned. I thought I had outsmarted him. It was probably 90 degrees when I took him to the vet. I had on a thick Carhartt sweatshirt because he ripped me apart, elbow to wrist, last time. So I'm like, I got you. You're not going to rip me apart this time. I'm going to wear a really thick sweatshirt. Wear a thick sweatshirt. He did claw at me a bunch. He did not get my arms because of the sweatshirt. Mind you, the only time he throws a fit is getting in and out of his pet taxi. So he's done with the vet. I'm literally trying to take him home away from this very scary, bad place. And I'm putting him in his pet taxi. Those of you that have cats or have had dealt with cats, I put this pet taxi standing on its like back. So the opening is straight up towards the ceiling, and I go to drop him in the pet taxi. And he says, okay, Mom, I see you're wearing this sweatshirt and my efforts are going fruitless to rip you apart and draw blood. But I see you have shorts on and your legs are right here while you're trying to put me in this pet taxi on the floor. And he ripped apart the front of my legs. Just tore into them. So I guess next time I'm going to have to wear like those outfits that police officers wear to train the police dogs, because he just tore me up. Like, I had to go to a graduation that night and I had huge knee-sized bandages on the front of my legs. They are very raw and gross looking still several days later. I'm very sore. I'm wearing jeans now, but it hurts to have fabric on them, so that's fun. It was so like deep that there was lots of blood. And the vet laughed. He did not help me with this psychotic cat. This was like 10 pounds of pissed off fur. And the vet was like, man, you deal that. And the vet's a big guy. And I'm just like, seriously? And this cat, granted, he never went for my face, which is good, which my older cat, he would go for the vet's face. He never went for my face. He would like cry and whine and be really sweet to me, but he was a gremlin. So, that was my Friday, and I'm going to this graduation. I'm bleeding through these Band-Aids, by the way. I was going to wear a cute summer dress under my cap and gown for the graduation because you sweat your butt off, but no, I had to wear pants because I was bleeding through the Band-Aids. It was absolutely ridiculous, and it was my fault, I guess, for trying to make sure he's healthy. Side note, he's gained 2 pounds, so now he's up to 10 pounds. They were a little worried that he is very small for a male cat. Male cats tend to be between 10 and 15 pounds. He is a small male cat, but he did gain 2 pounds, and he's not really that fat, so we're hoping that means he's gaining it in muscle and stuff, because they were a little worried that he was only 8 pounds for a while, and he's going to be 5, so I was asking about that. Granted, cats can live for a long time, knock on wood, but I was like, is there anything we need to change because he's 5? And he's like, no, he looks really healthy. I'm supposed to add something to his water for his dental care, because brushing doesn't really help with cats as much as it does with dogs, because cats get pockets under their gums for the gingivitis to get in, so they need to use essentially kitty mouthwash, but they can't spit it out, so they have to drink it. It's a thing. Or it can be a complete total scam for us to spend money. I don't know. I haven't really looked it up yet. But we will be leaving him for around 10 days when we go on vacation. So I wanted to make sure that he was healthy and good to go before we left, and got all his yearly physicals and shots and everything. So he's good to go. Last time we went on vacation, my father-in-law came and he took care of our indoor and outdoor cat. Our outdoor cat came with our house. She's very feral, hates everybody. She does let me pet her now, but it has taken 10 plus years to be able to touch her. So, and I'm the only one. And that's pure determination on my end to get her to let me touch her. But last time we went on vacation, this is kind of funny. We have cameras all over the outside of our house. And my father-in-law thought that she had died because he had not seen her. Her food was getting ate, but we do have raccoons and stuff. So he couldn't for sure say it was her eating her food outside. Again, she wouldn't come near him. Sometimes you'll see her on our deck and stuff sunning herself, and you'll see her around our property walking around it. But she wouldn't come near him. And he hadn't seen her for 3 or 4 days. He 100% thought she had died. And if you've ever been around feral wild cats, when they die, they usually just go away. Like, they'll go and hide themselves and they'll die. So he was literally looking in neighbors' garages, walking all over the neighborhood. Apparently it was pouring down rain. Now this could have been I walked uphill both ways to school scenario, but he's like, it was storming. I was knocking on neighbors' doors. I was looking in their garages. We got home that night and he came to see the kids and tell us how everything was. He walks me to the kitchen because we usually feed her off the deck. He walks me to the kitchen. This is going to make sense. I'm standing in the kitchen. He's like, I need to tell you something. I was like, oh gosh. And he's like, I think Mama Cat's dead. And I'm like, oh God, I hope she's not dead. And I just happened to look outside at that point, and she was sitting there on the deck, disgruntled because I had not been there. And her favorite food person had not been there. And I'm like, she's not dead. She's right there. And he's like, are you serious? So the entire week we were gone, I had been watching her on our deck camera, because it was alerting me when she would come up on the deck and lay and sun herself and eat and stuff. So I had been watching her go back and forth that entire week. I knew she wasn't dead. And if he would have just been like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen her in 3 days. She might be dead. I know you're here. I know you're not here. I know you're states away, but I wanted to let you know. I could have looked on the camera and been like, yeah, not only did I see her on our deck camera, I saw her on our front door camera. I saw her on our garage camera. She will circle around our house. She has like a path. And like she even, like, oh, I don't know. She doesn't make a rut, but she does kill the grass. So she will kill the grass in her like path she always takes. So I'm like, I know she's not dead. Why are you like freaking out? And he was like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, if you would have just asked, I would have told you. So now we are leaving again. And I was like, hey, just tell me and I'll check the cameras. I'll make sure all the cameras are good to go. Side note, this is not a advertisement for Google Home. I love our Google Home cameras. I love our Google Nest cameras. They're great. I can check them from anywhere. They alert me really quickly, and they are really incredibly easy to put up. So I really, really like that. I think that's it for that. But yeah, so I wanted to get the cats ready. I bought an overabundance of food because my father-in-law does overfeed them when I'm gone. Overtreat them. I do need to go buy Dylan some more treats because I know my father-in-law will want treats to give him because that's how he finds him. Especially after like 2 or 3 days of us being gone, he gets very depressed and hides and doesn't want to come out. So we will turn our cameras on inside our house to see if we can track him and know that he's okay. But treats is how my father-in-law gets him to come out when he checks on him. So I know I need to pick up more treats for him to give Dylan, and food and stuff is good to go with Mama Cat. So there's that. I feel like I spent this entire video talking about my cats. Dylan is 5. We are assuming Mama Cat is between 13 and 15. She's an outdoor cat. They don't live as long. She would not let me take her to the vet at all, ever. And if I tried to live trap her, that would stress her out way too much. She did get live trapped, I want to say several years ago, by the animal control. They do a trap and release here. She got live trapped and they gave her a 5 years rabies vaccine at that point. I think it's been longer than 5 years now. But they were just going around trapping neighborhood cats and vaccinating them and taking them in to get fixed if they weren't fixed. But she has been spayed. And the reason we know that is because her ear is clipped. So in our area, they'll clip the tops of one of their ears to tell us that they've been spayed. And her top of her ear has been clipped. So she has been spayed. But she did come with our house. She was an adult when we got our house. And she had already had 2 litters of kittens before we got our house and been spayed. And we got our house 13 years ago. So between, I want to say 13 and 15, closer to 15. And she's tiny and she's fierce. But thank you for listening to me ramble about my cats. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe and have a productive day.